We're getting our first look at what President Obama is going to say in his speech tonight. The campaign just released excerpts, and he's going to lay out some very specific goals. His plan would reduce the deficit by more than $4 trillion over the next decade. It would create 1 million new manufacturing jobs by the end of 2016, and it would train 2 million workers for real jobs at community colleges. That's what the president will outline tonight for the American people. Joining me now is Randy Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers, and George Gresham, president of 1199 SEIU, the largest healthcare workers union in the country, and he's the largest local in the world.
All right.
Thank you both for joining me. Randy, what do you think about those goals from the president?
Look, it's great that the president is taking, as Michelle Obama said on Monday, his values and translating it into action. And the only reason he can do that is because he spent the last 4 years with all of us creating a foundation from what was the worst recession since the Great Depression.
George, he says, let me read one of the excerpts. He says, I won't pretend I'm offering a quick or easy a path. I never have. Right. You didn't elect me to tell you what you wanted to hear.
That's right.
You elected me to tell you the truth, and the truth is it will take more than a few years for us to solve challenges that have built up over decades.
That's right.
Is America ready for straight talk, George Gresham?
I absolutely think we are. I think the president is saying that we didn't get into this overnight. We're not going to get into it overnight, but he has a plan to get us out of it. The difference in what the president is proposing and what Mitt Romney has not yet spoken on what he's going to do is tremendous. The president stands up for the working people. Mitt Romney stands up for the 1%. It is as clear as that.
Randy, he also gives this challenge. He says, and I'm reading an excerpt, but know this, America, our problems can be solved, our challenges can be met. The path we offer may be harder, but it leads to a better place, and I'm asking you to choose that future. Is that the tone we need to have set for people leaving this convention and go out into the fields and do the work?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. You're hearing it from the people. Because we know that when we are all part of shared opportunity, we are part of shared prosperity. It is not enough that some people have made more money in the last few years than ever before. What we need to do is recreate an enduring middle class for all the people who live and work in America. Our party is about all, not about some. Our party is about us doing it together, not about people being on their own. Our party is to take individual action, individual entrepreneurship, and make it about shared opportunity and prosperity.
George, what will it take? What must be done to assure victory for the president in November?
Well, you know what? It's good for us to get excited about speeches. It's good for us to get happy about the chance that we have a real alternative. But we got to do the work. When we leave here, we got to get out and we got to get those who say there's no difference. We have to explain to them in a way that they understand. They must be out of their mind to think that we can win this election without them. We need to participate. Sisters and brothers all around the country, working people, if you really care about the difference, don't just talk the talk. You got to get out and walk the walk. You got to do the vote. You got to vote. You got to make sure you tell your neighbors to vote. Tell your church to vote. Tell your schools to vote. And if your children are old enough, tell them to vote. That's going to be the difference between today and now.
Randy, you had the American Federation of Teachers. If we look at the Ryan budget on education, he cuts education programs by 18%. Programs like Pell Grants and Head Start. If Romney and Ryan win, what will that do to education in this country?
Look, it will hugely hurt the kids that need the investment the most. What we know is that when we give kids, particularly poor kids, and 1 out of 4 kids in the United States of America are poor, when we give them an early start, when we give them pre-K education, we level the playing field for them. We make it there's proof about this. Everybody knows this. So when Ryan and Romney say they are cutting them out, what they're really saying is that only some kids, not all kids, should get a chance for success. And what President Clinton said yesterday in supporting the nomination, the re-election of Barack Obama, he said that our country succeeds when we are about all children, when we are about all workers. We see that when we say, let's make sure that all kids get a great shot. That's what created a great middle class, and that's what we have to do in terms of the day-to-day work we do with the American voters. Isn't it better to spend some money to ensure that all kids get a decent pre-K, get a shot at college, than spend 4 or 5 or 10 times as much on prison?
George, how do we deal with some that are not to the level of enthusiasm that we want? We're looking at the polls. It says 62% of registered Republicans are extremely or very enthusiastic to vote. Only 56% of Democrats. How do we raise that?
Yeah, we have to leave here. One, I think it begins with the president's speech this evening. I think that people will get excited about that. People will understand at that point what the difference is. But we have to talk to people. We have to get them excited about the choices they have or they don't have. Rev, if these people don't get out and vote, their children, the people that they care about the most, the reason we all work, will not have a future in this country. If you can't get excited about your children and your future, then you might as well die right now because you're dead. We need it right now.
I think we have to, look, people are very anxious in our country because we face the worst recession since the Great Depression, and not everybody has come back. The rich have come back, but not everyone has come back. And we need to actually, as teachers, as hospital workers, as reverends, if we really believe this about having a better country, we need to make sure we talk to the American people about what happened before and what the president has done thus far and will do.
Well, that's what it's going to be. It's wherever you work, wherever you live, wherever you play, we need everyone's hands on deck. Get Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. We got to vote. Randy Weingarten, George Gresham, thank you for your time tonight.